Hi guys, thanks so much for tuning into this video. I'm Jay Theo, and if you are new here, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. Hope you're having a good day, a good week, a good evening, all of the things. And we're gonna go ahead and dive right on into this video. As we all know, Reddit is full of wild relationship stories, and today we're gonna be diving into 3 of the messiest. Guilt, betrayal, cheating, you name it. I'm gonna share my take, but I want you in the comments to also drop yours. So the first post is titled Relationship Advice from the Ask Gay Bros Over 30 subreddit. So I'm in a bit of a situation. I'm 30 years old and I've been with my partner, he's 32, for about 9 years. For most of that time, it was long distance. Only in the past 2 years have I managed to move closer. Now we're just a train ride apart. Then last winter, he hit me with something I wasn't prepared for. He admitted he had been seeing someone else. Briefly, he said, and the only reason he told me was because he contracted an STD. Otherwise, he probably would have never said a word. I mean, girl, that's the biggest flag already, because the fact that he wasn't even going to tell you, and the only reason you knew is because he contracted STD, already telling, but I'll continue. I broke. I thought I knew him. But after several conversations, I chose to forgive him. I told myself, everyone makes mistakes. I wasn't ready to lose 9 years of emotional bonding, plus I adored his family. But after that, things felt different. Visits were strange, the intimacy we once had, gone. I told myself maybe he just needed time. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I snooped through his social media messages. I know, a breach of trust, but what I saw sent a shockwave through me. There was a message from someone I didn't know asking for sexual acts. I didn't open it, so I don't know the full context. Maybe it was a bot, maybe harassment, but when I saw it, it felt like a stone sitting next to my heart. Now let's be real, you're snooping, you find stuff when you're snooping, the trust is already broken, so I'm still trying to understand like what foundation would this relationship even have, even if we can work through all this. The trust is broken, you're finding out things, he's never ever actually telling you any of this. You're finding it out on your own, or it's because of some loophole like the STD where he has to tell you because you're his partner. Okay, I digress. So now I see 3 possible paths. 1, we talk, try an open relationship, but honestly, I don't know if I could do that. And yeah, this is not how you set up an open relationship. And this is why I feel like we have so many issues within the gay community within open relationships, is because it should be a mutual thing. You both want to be in an open relationship, you both set the guidelines and the rules, and it's a mutual understanding of what y'all are doing and a mutual interest, unless you're like a cuckold or something. But it's a mutual interest. So I just feel like if the mutual interest isn't mutual, then you don't need to be in an open relationship. In this relationship, yet again, it's showing you that it's not serving you. 2, we talk and we separate. That terrifies me because my fear of abandonment makes me push the option away. And that's real. Fear of being alone, we all understand that. You've been with him for 9 years, so y'all have a lot, I'm sure y'all have connected and tied together, and it's like a whole thing for y'all to break up. But at the end of the day, you being alone and not with someone who's not lying to you, who's not making you feel insecure, all these things is better. Like I know a lot of us people think that's not the case, but it's better. As someone who's been single a majority of his adult life, I would do it with just myself versus dealing with someone making me feel insecure, making me second guess myself, making me have to dig through things, be Inspector Gadget, investigator. I'm not doing all that. Not doing all that. 3, I pretend nothing happened, gaslight myself, and pretend it's all in my head. Girl, let's be real. Everybody can do that. We can do that about everything. We all could say it's not real. I'm just gonna act like it's in my head. It's not, but you know it's not in your head. He literally confessed to you it's not in your head. And at the end of the day, what are you holding on to? You're holding on to a relationship that's not, there's no trust. He doesn't open up to you about what he really wants. Like even if an open relationship is ideally what he wants, has he asked you about it? Have you had any other discussions? You don't even know if it's something he wants. You just know that he's cheating on you. So maybe, is it even that he even wants you and he's just using the fact that you're taking him back as an option to still be with someone else while still being with you? He gets best of both worlds. Like we haven't even got to the core of that. So ultimately, like, what are we like holding on to? Like, what about this relationship is like, you know, besides the sunken cost fallacy,
which is defined as the phenomenon whereby a person is reluctant to abandon a strategy or course of action because they have invested heavily in it, even when it's clear that abandonment would be more beneficial.
You guys have been together for 9 years. That means something, which yes, it means memories, it means trips, it means vacations that with you went on. But at the end of the day, if someone is not treating you right now, the 10 years before, it doesn't always matter. They're not treating you right now. So when are they gonna start treating you right? And these are not things where it's like, oh, they're going through something or they are having just like a bad rut and it's not who they are. But he's showing you who he is time and time again by lying to you and by not being honest with you. And I don't think you lying to yourself is gonna change how he moves. He's still gonna do the same thing. It's very clear that's what he wants to do. To wrap this one up, from my standpoint, once the trust is broken, the trust is broken. Once somebody's dishonest, they're dishonest. Once someone is not even being real with you and not even bringing up concerns they have within your relationship to the table, at this point, if you have to snoop to find things, the relationship is done, and I feel like you should move on. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy. I'm not saying it's gonna be cakes and rainbows and glitter. You guys have been with each other for 9 years, so it's gonna be a lot of stress. Yeah, it's gonna be a process, but it's a process that you have to start for yourself, and it's a process that will get better once you start it. So that's my take. Curious to know what your take is. If you were in a relationship like this for 9 years, would you walk away? Would you put more time into fixing this? Would you be able to tolerate the dishonesty and the things you keep finding out on your own? Would you be able to get past that and build that trust back up? I'm curious. Just because the way I would do something it does not mean it's the right way. Does not mean it's the only way. I understand people can be in relationships for a long time and have these bonds and connections that are hard to break. So, definitely curious to hear what you guys have to say. I think for me, the fact that if we were together 9 or 10 years and you're being this dishonest to me, that even would hit even harder for me and be even harder for me to swallow and tolerate. So I think there's like two sides to every coin. So on to post number 2, titled, How to Break Up with My Boyfriend in 5 Years, from the Ask Gay Bros Over 30 subreddit. I know I want to break up. I can't do it anymore. He is so dependent on me. He doesn't drive. I drive him everywhere. He won't meet my friends. He's not interested in visiting my family or coming to family events. He's had the same issues for years, but never does anything about them. Yeah, y'all, I can feel the exhaustion in every word. Like, he is exhausted. And I feel like this is where I feel like sometimes people be looking for a parent and not a partner. This is giving parent. And me, I feel like I'm enabling him. I'm the one taking care of everything he can't or won't handle. I don't see any change in sight. Meanwhile, he's been pressuring me about marriage, and I know I need to end it before it gets worse. And that's the wild part, is that's where it becomes a trap. You're not even trying to grow. You're not trying to even be better as a person, but you want to drag me into a marriage with you so I can just continuously be legally taking care of you. Yeah, no. I brought up the issues before, he knows, but nothing has changed. And now I'm scared to even have the conversation. I don't want to devastate him. We live together. My plan is to move to my parents until I find a new place, but I don't know the best way to do it. Do I take a day off of work, move my stuff out, and then talk when he comes home? Or do I bring it up, leave for a few days? In the back of my mind, I have the small fear, what if he hurts himself because of this? I mean, that's heavy because it's not just about love or guilt. It's about safety. And, when you fear somebody can hurt themselves, that like adds a whole nother like layer to it. And I feel like it starts to feel like prison. Like I feel like I'm really locked into this because now if I leave, you'll hurt yourself. That's hard pill to swallow. And that's something I feel like is very, very difficult to deal with. But I feel like you still have to find a way. At the end of the day, your life is just as important as theirs. And I feel like finding a way to maybe get them some help before you devastate them, to maybe prepare them so that you can like monitor that situation. This has been my longest relationship. At one point, I thought it would be forever. But over the years, his attitude toward life, towards me, toward everyone else hasn't improved, and I don't believe it ever will. So now I feel like the only way forward is to give him a wake-up call. So what would you do? Stay out of guilt or find your peace and walk away? Y'all can already tell what my answer is because of the interjections, but I'm not parenting a grown person. I'm not driving you everywhere. You need to meet my family. You need to respect my family. You need to meet my friends. I'm literally in a relationship with a stranger to everyone else I'm in relationships with. This is like a weird dynamic. You're not even vibing with my family, of all people. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're in two different worlds at this point. So yeah, I would leave with my peace. And I will say, I would try to prepare for the devastation. I mean, maybe talking to a therapist or talking to his friends and family to let them know so that they're aware. So then it's like not all on you. I think when people say stuff like that, you feel like it's all on you, but you can go let their family know and let other people know that this is something they're considering doing. And I need your assistance, I need your support because it's gonna get done at the end of the day. So I think just taking the extra step to kind of connect with their family or get that added support can be a way to alleviate that stress for you. So the final post is called The Jacked App Betrayal. I was just casually using my partner's phone one day, watching a funny video, when suddenly a Jack notification pops up. I froze. Jacked? Really? He always told me he doesn't use those apps. He's denied it 100 times, and now I'm staring at the proof right on the screen. Listen, once the notification hits, the truth is out. I mean, there's no denying that. At that point, the phone is telling the truth. When I confronted him, he brushed it off, said, "Oh, I was just being nosy. I don't actually use it like that." I actually feel like I've heard this kind of story before where it's like they say that, and it's just like, I'm someone who's single. And I don't have Jack. I don't use Jack right now. But when I was using Jack, I never used it to be nosy. I actually hated using it. I feel like I forced myself to use it most of the time. So as a single person, I don't even understand that because I hated using it. But I couldn't shake the feeling. My gut told me there was more. So I decided to test him. I made a fake profile, simple, nothing flashy, and I messaged him. And guess what? He responded almost instantly. Flirty, casual, then it turned sexual, sexting, pics, the whole thing. Yeah, and we all know that's not curiosity, that's not being nosy, and we never believed that in the first place. I didn't. But sexting, that's cheating. And the wild part, even after I confronted him with the evidence, he still denied it. Tried to act like it was nothing, like I was overreacting. This is like just very textbook example of gaslighting. It's like the simplest form of gaslighting. And I know we use that word so much, but this literally is what that is. So yeah, at this point, the trust was gone because once someone looks you in the eye, denies what you already know to be true, where do you go from there? So what about you? If you caught your man on a hookup app, like, and he told you, he denies it, he acts like it wasn't a big deal, like, would you confront him? Would you address him? What would be your next steps? Like, what would be the process for you? For me, honestly, I just feel like this is just too much digging, creating profiles. If I gotta do all that for my man, I don't think that's the man for me. At my age, I just don't have the time to be doing all of that. I don't care to do all that. Now I gotta have on my downtime, I gotta sit somewhere and act like I'm messaging you and texting you. And this is not to shade the person, but I just don't have an interest in doing the investigative stuff. For me, I just want to be able to trust my person. And honestly, if I feel like I can't trust him, I'm just gonna flat out ask you, what are you doing on the apps? Why are you on the app? Like, what's the tea? Like, I know you did, but if I feel like I'm not getting a real answer, then that's just kind of where I'm gonna end it. I feel like you can tell when somebody's being real. Also, I know anybody who has a hookup app on their phone and they're actively using it, you're not just being nosy. We all have apps on our phones we don't use and we don't get notifications for. I have so many apps on my phone, I forgot it even existed, why I even downloaded it, and I have the notifications off because unless you're an active app that I actually like, and it's very rare that I even like the notifications on anything. And even when I had Jack myself, I never had the notifications on. People get mad at me because they're like, I sent you a message, but I did not like getting the dings because I would get them randomly from randos. And it's like, I don't need a butt pic when I'm trying to go to dinner with my friend. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't need random that popping on my phone. So that's the tea on that. I feel like that last one is probably relatable to a lot of people. But curious to know all of your thoughts, all of your takes on all three of these situations. What would you do if any of these happened to you? What would be your advice to these Reddit posters? What would you say to one of your friends if they were going through any of these situations? I'm curious to know. And if you're liking these stories and you're liking this content, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe. As always, do your best to stay safe, stay positive, and I will see you guys on the next video.